it is time to do a haul. I need to update you on some of the perfumes that are new to my collection the last couple of months. This is definitely collective. And as I was getting all my bottles together, I was like, okay, they're like all gourmands. Like everything here is like vanilla or some type of treat or sweet, a gourmand of some sort. So I'm excited to get into it. I have a lot of niche actually here. I've been going to the perfume store a lot. Most of it I bought, but I'll let you know it's PR like always. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it without further ado. And let's start with this, okay? Because I saw this on Instagram. The Instagram algorithm knows how to tempt me, okay? And I saw Cirque du Soleil perfume and I almost was like, is this real? Is this like actually Cirque du Soleil? But it is. They came out with a fragrance. This is the L'Eau de Parfum from them. And the notes are what got me, okay? The notes in here. Let me read them off. Top notes on this: cotton candy, red apple, bergamot. Okay, cotton candy, you already have my attention. Middle notes: butter, popcorn, freesia, iris petal. Okay. And then in the base, caramel, vanilla bean, amber, and sandalwood. So, you know, the caramel, the popcorn, the cotton candy, intrigued, okay? So intrigued. And I have to say, I feel like the bottle delivers. I think this is a beautiful bottle. I mean, it's definitely different. This is pretty heavy. And then the actual scent, you guys, I'm honestly shocked to say this is really, really good. Somehow they've been able to, for sure, put the popcorn. I smell the popcorn. There's almost something a little bit buttery, a little bit savory, but not too much. You get the sweet, airy cotton candy. And overall in general, it's just like an airy, sweet, vanillic caramel, but not too heavy scent. It's really, really good. It's fun. It's a little bit whimsical. I mean, I get all the Cirque du Soleil vibes, but again, it's actually wearable for all of those foodie notes. If you're into vanillas and stuff like that, I think this would be totally wearable for you. If you wear something like Stiff's Creme Couture, this is just as wearable to me as that, if not even a little bit more wearable. I feel like the popcorn note in here doesn't get funky. And then it does dry down into something that's just sweet, a little bit musky, vanilla. It's good. It's a really good gourmand fragrance, really fun. The outer packaging is also really cute that it comes in. So I felt like for the theming and the notes and the actual scent itself, this was a great pickup, and I was definitely skeptical. So if it caught your attention, those notes sound good. I think you might like this one. I'm trying to think of other popcorn notes. I know there's the Sol de Janeiro mist, but I feel like that is heavier. This is airier than that to me. I feel like the caramel isn't as heavy, and even the popcorn note in here, it doesn't give to me like popcorn jelly bean. I think it just smells like a really nice musky but still really airy vanilla cotton candy caramel scent. It smells like the circus but in a wearable way. So I think they did a really great job with that. Very happy to have it in my collection. Oh, okay, this one, you guys, if you're a vanilla lover, you gotta get your nose on this. I bought this immediately. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this shit is gonna sell out. I know it. I already know it, and I'm not willing to wait around, okay? Like, I need to know if this is good. So this is from Theodors, Kalotinis, and this is Creme Brûlée. I got this from Greta's site. She sells perfume. She's another perfume YouTuber here, and so I saw that she was carrying this. I just bought it off of her website. I'm so glad I got it, because even at Scent Bar and all that, it's like sold out. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you're a gourmand vanilla lover, this smells exactly, and when I say exactly, I mean photorealistically. Like, I can picture the box yellow cake, okay? It's yellow cake batter. That's what it smells like. It's sweet. It's kind of buttery. So, so good. I will say, when I first got it, I did not know what creme brulee was gonna be like. I mean, obviously I assumed I would love it based off the notes, based off the name. This has coconut milk, whipped cream, burnt sugar, and vanilla. Yeah, hi. That sounds great. That sounds amazing. And I have to say, I did like it initially, but it was a little buttery initially. I was like, okay, this is very photorealistic. This is so foodie of a vanilla. But I have to say, as I've been continuing to wear it, I'm just falling more and more in love with it. I would say this is like a warmer, almost kind of custardy version of Bianco Latte. Like, if you like Bianco Latte, that is cooler and kind of milkier. This is warmer and, yeah, kind of buttery, custardy compared to that one. And I do find in the dry down as well, I get more of those coconut notes coming out too. So definitely different, very vanillic, but I have heard this is gonna be like the new Bianco Latte. So let me know what you think about that. If you got your nose on this, it's a good one. I'm not sure how available it is, so if I can find it, I'll try to link it for you guys, but I'm very happy with this. And like I said, when I first got this, I did really like it, but I was just kind of like, is that too much? Like, is that gonna be something I wanna wear? And I have to say, as much as it is super foodie, it's just growing on me more and more for like that everyday kind of vanilla. But I will warn you, very, very foodie, very, very like photorealistic yellow cake batter. Like, It really is. It's so good, so delicious. So I did pick up creme brulee. Continuing on with more vanillas. This one from Mancera I actually bought a long time ago, but it took forever to ship out. I bought this through my Olfactif subscription. So if you guys don't know, I'm subscribed to Olfactif, which is a niche subscription sample service. So every month they send out either 3 samples, the men's or the women's, or you can get the deluxe, which has both, and I do the deluxe. Anyway, the reason I'm saying all this is that we got to sample Amore Caffè in one of the months. It was a few months ago at this point now. And one of the perks with the subscription is that bottles of the month are 20% off. So I was like, I already had my eye on this. I already knew what it smelled like. So once I got that sample, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it for 20% off. And at that time, everything was sold out. So I was so excited that they had it in stock, but little did I know that it wasn't actually in stock. So I just had a little bit more time in waiting for this, but Amore Caffè is a really just delicious vanilla coffee scent, but I almost get a waxiness from this. Let me know if you do. Also a little bit of booziness too from this scent. I find it to be a very syrupy vanilla. Like honestly, to me, it reminds me a lot of Escapade Gourmand, but it's like the coffee version. Like if Escapade Gourmand did a coffee flanker, I feel like it would be Amore Caffè. That's like how I interpret this. Notes on this: coffee, amaretto. Oh, it has a liqueur note. Okay, there it is. It has ice cream, vanilla, brown sugar, more vanilla, and ambergris in here. So that syrupiness is coming from that ice cream note. I don't know what it is, but any of those ice cream scents, Vanilla Vice from Sniff, or Monte Castanade from Navitus, or whiff of a waffle cone, this has that same kind of syrupiness that I tend to get from any of those ice cream scents. So definitely in here. But I would say the coffee in here is definitely subdued. It's not like you spilled coffee on yourself. Like if you did, it's the most like milky vanilla latte, like the most uncoffee coffee drink that you spilled on yourself. That's how little I feel like the coffee is in here compared to the brown sugar, compared to the vanilla and all those other sweet notes. But I kind of like that. I like that it's not overly dark and black and roasted and charred like some coffee scents out there, which are also great. But this is definitely, you know, the fun frappuccino drink of it all. Almost like a coffee float. But like I said, I almost get a bit of a waxiness in here, and I don't know what that is. I don't know how else to describe it, but I also pick up on a little bit of that, which makes it unique, and I'm glad to add this to my collection. I think this is a great gourmand if you haven't tried this one. Amore Caffè is definitely one to get your nose on and see if you like it. Okay, this next one I bought just because trying to get Babycat from YSL, nearly impossible, literally nearly impossible. I've only heard amazing things about it, and so when I saw this was on stock at Selfridges, I just was like, I can't. I mean, I don't know how long it'll be till I have to wait again. So I just blind bought this, and you know, I was like, it is what it is. It is what it is. I gotta do what I gotta do over here. I gotta smell Babycat. I've been waiting for forever. I've heard from people this is like the best vanilla ever, and I get it for them. I'm glad to have this in my collection, do not get me wrong, but if you're into like the most girly, like realistic vanilla, really edible vanilla, this one kind of goes in between. It's not all the way that. There's definitely some leathery touches. I feel like I'm getting almost like a cardamom kind of note. Let me see what's in here. Black pepper, black pepper, pink pepper, like lots of pepper in the top, also elemi, olibanum and saffron in the mid, bourbon, vanilla, suede, and cedar. And I just have to say the suede in here is really smooth. It all is blended really, really nice. So it's a nice, smooth, suede-y leather with the vanilla. It's not overly sweet. You're getting definitely that spice from the pepper. And to me, the saffron's coming out kind of a little bit medical, like it's really playing, I think, with that leather note. So there's almost like, I mean, it's not a bandage, but you know, like it's kind of coming across a little bit like a medical office to me, not in a bad way. I like that note. I like that aspect in Cloud and in Baccarat Rouge. So not necessarily bad, but that's what I get from it. I haven't had tons of time to play with this, and also it's not really the season. I feel like this vanilla to me is definitely a fall winter vanilla. Just with that suede, it's like a new car suede though, with a really nice touch of a powdery yet still sweet but kind of light vanilla. So I'm excited to have it, don't get me wrong, and my goodness, again, this is just a very difficult perfume to get in the United States, but glad to add it to my collection. I will continue to update you on how I like it. You know, if you're pining after that and you want to smell it, I do suggest getting a sample. I don't think it's one that's worth just the blind buy necessarily. For some, you might get it and be like, oh yeah, it would be totally worth it, but I could also see a lot of people who love vanillas. Just, you know, again, it is a little spicy. It has those leathery touches. It has the saffron. So if you're just looking for vanilla, I don't know if this is going to be exactly the one for you. And when I think of a suede vanilla that I really love, Goldfield and Bank Silky Woods comes to mind. I believe that's what it's called. And between the two, I think I might prefer Silky Woods from Goldfield and Banks compared to this. This has a little bit more, almost as if Orchidee Vanille from Van Cleef & Arpels, if that kind of combined with some spicy touches, the leather, the saffron, I feel like you'd get something like Babycat. So hopefully that's helpful to let you know like where this stands on the vanilla scale, I guess, and if it would be right for you to maybe try out. But nonetheless, still feels like a prize in my collection because like I said, that one is pretty dang difficult to get. And if it is something you're interested in, I would definitely, you know, keep tabs on the Selfridges site and see if it'll come back in stock so you don't have to pay. Like some people are selling that for like crazy prices. I don't think it's worth that. I'm gonna talk about some more like affordable things in here because I do have some affordable options as well, although there is a lot of niche and pretty pricey perfumes in here. I want to talk about Eclaire. This came out from Lattafa, and as soon as I saw the bottle and also the notes looked really intriguing. I was like, okay, I want to try this. I'm brewing up some things behind the scenes. I'm not gonna get too into it because I don't want to promise videos I cannot deliver. I don't want you like hanging on my words and, you know, I disappoint you. But I will say I'm trying some different Middle Eastern fragrances out, so hopefully I can do a video on that at some point. For notes on Eclaire, caramel, sugar, and milk in the top, honey, white flowers in the mid, and then vanilla, praline, and musk in the base. So I was already just like, those sound so good. And as soon as I got it and smelled it, I mean, this is an amazing dupe for Bianco Latte, okay? Smell wise, I mean, it's pretty damn close, like if not basically exact. I do not find that I get the longevity on this though. That is the downfall, I think. But for the price difference, this is like a third of the price of Bianco Latte. I personally find Bianco Latte to be worth it. I feel like the longevity on that, the beast that it is, like that thing lasts through everything. It projects, it leaves sillage. Like it is a very well done perfume, and I feel like for the price point, it is well worth it. But if you don't have the money for that, you don't care about that, you just want to have something similar and smell in your collection, I do think Eclaire is a great option. I really feel like in terms of the actual scent, it is super close and the best dupe I've smelled so far. So Eclaire from Lattafa might be one to check out. And of course I want to hear your guys' thoughts too, so let me know if you agree with that, if you got your nose on that. Do you feel like it's close or not? Because we all smell dupes and things a little different. With that, I have another kind of Bianco Latte dupe, but it is also a collab. This is from Oakcha. It is That Girl Viral Vanilla, and it's in collaboration with Paul Reacts. I follow him over on Instagram. Paul loves his vanilla, so I was excited to get this and see what it was like. And as he was teasing this, I realized more and more like, oh, it's gonna be very similar to Bianco Latte, and it definitely is similar. I do not think it's as close as Eclaire. I feel like Eclaire, if you're looking for like a true dupe of Bianco Latte, this to me is better for that. This has similar notes. There's caramel, coconut milk, tonka bean, honey, white musk, vanilla, amber, and marshmallow in here. A few different ones, but again, very similar profile to Bianco Latte. There's something just a little bit sweeter and almost, I want to say like, again, the slightest bit of something spicy maybe coming off to me. So it's not exact. I think a lot of people are gonna like this. Again, it's a fun vanilla and at a great price point, so I think that's really fun. I almost feel like the sweetness in here comes across a little bit more, almost like if Pink Sugar and Bianco Latte kind of came together, maybe something like that, just to give you an idea. But I think it's fun. The bottle's really nice, and again, I like, you know, when I can to support and, you know, check out people's collabs. I think it's really fun, and it's a yummy vanilla, so I picked that up. And then the other collabs that I did end up picking up, and it was a 3 perfume collaboration with 3 different influencers. So we have Angel Soirée here. This is in collaboration with Caroline Stern. Then we have Pêche Délicieuse. It's hard to say, but this is in collaboration with Jade Bodley. And then last, this is Tache de Caffè in collaboration with Ethan Gaskill, I believe. So I actually am not super familiar. I am just old school YouTube girly, okay? I'm a little on Instagram, but that's really it. I'm not over on TikTok, so I don't see any of that stuff. And I'm assuming a lot of these creators are really big on TikTok, but you know, I love keeping up with the Monde Gourmand stuff. They are a really affordable perfume house, and they tend to do a lot of gourmands, as the name would suggest. So I was like, you know what? Let me try these out. These retail for $28 instead of their normal $12. $25 price point. So still very, very affordable, especially, you know, considering how expensive perfumes can get and even, you know, how much some of the perfumes I'm talking about here are. So Angel Soirée, we'll start here. Top on this, strawberry, marshmallow, lychee, apricot. Mid notes are milk, violet, rose, magnolia, vanilla, musk, sandalwood, and praline in the base. And I will say this is the one I've probably, you know, given the biggest wear test. Okay, I'm definitely getting the lychee, the apricot, and the strawberry at the top, like these fruity notes. And there's something kind of tart coming off with them, almost going off of bitter, I would say. Like to me, it's almost like a champagne version of those fruits. That's what I'm getting, something kind of tart, a little fizzy in a way, a little powdery. And then as it starts drying down, it's like sweetening up. It's also a little powdery. It's very girly, very pink. I think if you're into a fruity, sweetie thing, I think you'd really like this. I will say the milk note, marshmallow note, super exciting. Love to see those in any fragrance. Like I love it. But if you're going into this hoping it's going to be super lactonic and super milky, I don't pick up on that. I get something more powdered and fluffy in that way. You know what I mean? And even then it's more as the wear goes on. And I also get something a little bit plasticky or like, again, that kind of medical note from Cloud. If you get that, you pick that up. I pick up something like that in here. And again, I like that in Cloud. I love Cloud. So it's not a negative, but I just wanted to point out that I do pick up something like that in this fragrance. So I think for the price, all three of these are really great and are some of the best offerings, I feel like, also from Monde Gourmand. So I was really happy about that. I don't feel like they have the best longevity, but in general, for a $28 perfume, like I'm not, you know, I'm not expecting that. The one I was shocked by, and I feel like this is one of the strongest perfumes from Monde Gourmand, is the peach one. This one, I sprayed it and was like, wow, it's juicy. It's that juicy peach, almost like a peach ring or like an alcoholic peachy beverage, but it has this like foodie caramel gushing through it. Like it's very, very interesting, very unique. I feel like, you know, for a peach scent, I don't have anything like this in my collection. You know, there's foodie elements, almost add a bread to this and add definitely some heft to the lighter, airier, juicier peach. But I think it's a really, really fun one. There's caramel in here, peach, obviously, there's cinnamon, some orange, white rose, a little cocoa, and also vanilla. So very gourmandy touches along with the fruit. A very unique combination to me, very fun. I don't think it's gonna be for everyone, but I'm glad I picked this one up just because it is so different. And like I said, I really feel like it packs a punch more than I was expecting from a Monde Gourmand fragrance. I'm telling you, there's almost like a butteriness coming through with the caramel in that scent. And then last for Tache de Caffè, this one is also really interesting, more subdued, a little more sophisticated in a way. I'm getting tons of saffron from this. I almost think of it as like a less potent version. Again, a very watered down, more airy, wearable version of Oud for Greatness. I don't know. I'm just saying. I can make that connection at least. There's something kind of toasted and warm in here. A little masculine, but I feel like overall just unisex. But this has notes of dark chocolate, saffron, black pepper. There's tonka, milk, ink, and rose in the mid notes, and then cedarwood, amber, musk, patchouli, and vanilla in the base. Really soft, like basically a skin scent in a way, but a little bit of something creamy and musky coming through. Again, I think this is just a really great offering. Actually, I think all three are pretty good offerings. Again, for the price point, I think it's awesome they got to collab on these, and they were fun pickups. So I'd love to know what you guys think about these if you did decide to pick any of them up, and congrats to them. I have a few more inexpensive ones, and then we'll get back to niche. We'll get back to the other stuff, but I did end up getting this body mist from Victoria's Secret. They always suck me in. I always get so tempted, but this one was cotton candy. I was like, okay, cotton candy, I gotta get. The sprayer, trash. It's like a fire hose. It's so horrible. But for a cotton candy smell, I like it. It smells good. I use these types of sprays for after the shower, going to bed, cozying up at night. Like, I love a good gourmand body mist, and this cotton candy one totally delivers. It has notes of strawberry sugar, fluffy vanilla, boardwalk air. Yeah, it smells so good. So, you know, if you can catch this in store or whatever, it might be worth looking into. Is it groundbreaking? No. Is it delicious and yummy? Yeah, you know, and it has like a perfumed quality to that sugariness. I just think it's a well done cotton candy. It's not overly syrupy. It's not like too sweet, and it still has something perfumed. It definitely feels a part of the Victoria's Secret body mist, like even the pink line specifically. It feels a part of that universe and works, actually works. So I'm glad I picked that up. Although again, sprayer, hate Hate. Next, let's talk about this Phlur scent. I decided just to blind buy Soft Spot. This was only released on the Phlur website, so it did not come to Sephora, which I was kind of shocked about. And you know, now that I have it, I mean, I think this could be someone's favorite scent. I think it's nice. It is a skin scent kind of fragrance, and to me, this is the colder version of Missing Person. That to me is warm and caressing, and this has that kind of muskiness. Again, it sits on the skin in a very comforting way, but it's definitely to me like a cooler take on those kinds of florals. It's woody, and I also get something a little more almost beachy with this. There's something coming off, like the way the white florals are in here, it reminds me of maybe a really low-key sunscreen musky scent. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe it's the vanilla orchid, but notes on this: bergamot, freesia, mandarin. There's jasmine, vanilla orchid, and water lily in the mid, musk, sandalwood, and amber in the base. Like I said, if you're into those no perfumes, Glossier You, Missing Person, like I think this could be something you like. It also could be in some ways repetitive, or you might like one of those other ones better. And I do like those fragrances, but I don't love them and wear them as much as I used to even. So I'm not like mad to have it, but if I smelled this before I bought the bottle, I don't know if I would necessarily repurchase the bottle right now, even though I also don't necessarily mind having it in my collection, if that makes sense. So yeah, to me, it's just, it's nice. It's pleasant. It's one that like could be a signature scent, you know what I'm saying? Or again, very cozy. If it connects with you, I can totally see it and see why. I think it's a nice perfume. It's more just not exactly me, whereas like way more me now, the Creme Brûlée. You know what I mean? It's just like what I'm into right now. And that's just kind of the phase I'm in. So that's good. It's pleasant. Okay, let me get into some niche. One, I did get something sent to me from Twisted Lily. If you guys don't know, I'm affiliated with them. I have a code. So if you're ever looking for niche samples, you're looking for niche perfumes, definitely check out over there. You can use my code to save some money. It's affiliated. No pressure as always, but they actually started carrying Fugazzi. Fugazzi has been one of those perfume brands that I feel like has been really hard to find. I've talked about Sugar Daddy from them, and I find that to be such a unique fragrance. And so I'm excited to have more access to Fugazzi, and they sent over Angel Dust, but this is like the extrait version. So Angel Dust is one of the fragrances I actually really quite like. It was on my list. Also, I think they have one called Workaholic from Fugazzi that has like a coffee note in it, but it's kind of syrupy. The last time I smelled it, that's what I remember. And so that one's also kind of on my radar, but Angel Dust, the original, is kind of one of those skin scents I feel like akin to Le Labo's Another 13, I Don't Know What from DS and Durga. It was like woody, ambery, musky, like a skin scent, something a little bit sexy about it, you know what I'm saying? And so I was excited to try the extrait. I figured since I had really fond memories of the regular Angel Dust, I would like this too. And I have to say, the extrait takes that and really amps it up. I do like this, but sometimes with extraits, they're really concentrating, they're really trying to make like the magic of the other scent into something so condensed that I do feel like it can kind of change the overall feeling of a fragrance. And I do feel like this one, it's amped up. It's Angel Dust amped up for sure. And because of that, it's stronger. I experience it in a stronger way, and I like it in the whiff. I love the way the sillage is on this fragrance. I believe there's ISOE Super in here. So again, we're talking about these molecular, like woody, kind of ambery, musky notes and scents. But there is something like almost the most intense petrichor kind of scent coming off of this. Like that's happening along with, it almost is kind of chemical, to be honest. So I don't know, as it dries down, I really like it, but it's pretty strong. It's an extrait, okay? So just know that. Definitely try both and see. If you really want longevity, I think this is gonna give it to you, but I do feel like it's at a cost of the original fragrance. So I'm gonna keep playing around with this, but I am so excited in general just to be able to get samples from Fugazzi over at Twisted Lily and test out the brand more and all of that. So thank you to Twisted Lily for sending this. This is one of the bottles of PR that I got, and it's interesting. Definitely very unisex, leaning masculine, I would say on that one. There's something sexy. I go back to it, but man, it's strong. It's very, very strong in the way it's done. Let me know your thoughts and the differences. If you've smelled the extrait and the original Angel Dust, let me know. But really, I highly suggest checking out Sugar Daddy. If you've heard me talk about that, you can find a sample over at Twisted Lily and see what it's like, because that one, I'm telling you, is so unique, so different. And again, I'm excited to explore more from the house. All right, we have 4 more perfumes to talk about. This was also sent to me in PR. This is from Philosophy, and it is Radiant Grace. I love Fresh Cream Warm Cashmere. I've gone through a couple bottles of that actually. It's one of my favorite vanillas. It's like a creme brulee, kind of burnt sugar vanilla. So good. And when it comes to the like Grace scents, like the Amazing Grace scents from Philosophy, I'm usually pretty skeptical, but this had a note of cherry in it that I was like, okay, you know, let's try it out. I mean, you know. And I have to say, I think this is pretty good. Like, it's a tart, kind of fruity opening. I would not say it's cherry. This doesn't smell cherry to me at all. I'm trying to think of what fruit I would say. To me, it's more like how pear sometimes comes across, because it's a little bit more tart. Like, there's a tartness to the fruity note that I'm getting in the opening on this, but then it's mixed with like some musky notes, some skin musks, you know what I mean? And honestly, I think it's pretty pleasant. Like, I think it's just a nice, easy, wearable scent. Like I said, this has black cherry in the top. There's jasmine and sandalwood. That's all the notes that they give. And it lists the main accords in here as white florals, I guess, from the jasmine, but I find this super wearable, super easy. I don't know. I think I'm shocked I like it as much as I do. I don't know if I would buy it necessarily, but I think it's one to give a sniff, actually. I think, you know, if you see it in store, give it a sniff, see if you like it. But I actually appreciate that the cherry is done so different from so many other cherry scents out there. Last couple, I honestly shouldn't have waited this long to talk about this. This is my most recent perfume, I want to say, and this is from Narcotica. Oh my gosh, Narco Oasis. I know you've probably been hearing about it, but this is converting me to fruity scents, and I am not always the fruity girl. Like, I like vanillas, I like woody scents, I like unisex stuff, but I feel like in the last few years, I can get down with some fruit here and there, but to really love a fruity scent, it's a little more rare to me. This fruity scent, there's something about it, and I almost find it more fun when I find a fragrance that I can sit here and be like, I really like that, but there's also just this one thing that is still like almost unexplored, or like it's still like a question mark in my brain, like, what is that? Do I love it? And you keep wanting to return to it. And I feel like when you have that with a fragrance, there's something so special about it, because you get to just like wear it more and more and love it more and more. That's how it was with Bianco Latte. Like, I knew I liked it enough to buy the bottle, but I feel like as I continued to wear it, as I continued to, you know, get the full cloud going and all that, I just grew to love it more and more. And that is what is continuing to happen with Narco Oasis. Let me get you some notes because I'm gushing. And this is a pricey perfume. I also have Happy Dust from them, and I also really love that perfume, but man, they're expensive. All right, notes on Narco Oasis: passion fruit, blood orange, black currant in the top. Then there's vanilla, pear, peach, brown sugar, tonka, jasmine, and iris in the mid. We're talking about lots of notes here, okay. And then there's vanilla, sandalwood, musk, amber, and blonde woods in the base. And I would say you definitely get the fruitiness. The passion fruit's definitely coming through. It smells more like a tropical fruit than just like fruity in general from like the orange and the black currant, but there's definitely a heavy dose of vanilla that really, I feel like, rounds it out and adds this suppleness to this fragrance. So it's not too tart, it's not too cloying, or just like, I don't know, just too, I guess, sharp. It really softens this fragrance, but while still having those punch of juicy, juicy fruits. Like, it's still very much a juicy fragrance, and I just think it's done so freaking well. It's literally so good. What am I doing? I'm gonna smell. This is so good. My friend Ishani, we were at Scent Bar like we always are, and she ended up getting this on one of our trips, and then the next time we went in, I just still had it on my mind, and I ended up getting it that trip. And you know, it was kind of described to us as like a passion fruit float, or like, I don't know, like passion fruit ice cream in a way, and I get that, but also I get almost like a, you know, the orange Trident gum? It kind of has a little bit of a vibe to that, to me, but more expensive, and there's just something in the dry down that really comes through, something really sugared and delicious, and I'm obsessed. The sprayer on this is amazing. The bottle looks so beautiful, and if you've been hearing about Narco Oasis, it really is good, especially if you love fruity scents. I really feel like this is somehow unabashedly fruity and flirty and fun and like perfect for summer, while still, I think, having some sort of sophistication to it that I really appreciate and love. So I don't know, definitely want to check out. I love the way the vanilla is done in here. I think it just makes it that perfect amount of like, I don't know if creamy is the right word, but it really does offset some of that fruity, tangy sharpness that can come through. And this is making me be like, I think I'm into fruits this summer. Like, I really think I am. Like, this is how I want fruit to be done. So I love this. Let me know if you want to see a fruity video, because I have some other fruity scents that I've been into, and this idea of like fruity, feminine, fun, flirty fragrances for summer I think is so fun, if you will. So obsessed with this, obsessed. Okay, that first time I went into Scent Bar, this is what I ended up picking up. This is from, I don't know if I even know the name of this perfume. That's not good. Nobile 1942. I think that might be the house, and I'm gonna really try not to butcher this, but it's La Danza delle
Libellule. which means
Libellule. Okay, I'm already having a nightmare thinking of how I'm gonna edit me saying this, but I have to say the bottle is absolutely stunning. I love the top. Like everything about this has like an old school kind of vibe to it. It looks beautiful. And actually me and Ishani both bought this fragrance at the same time. There was just something about it hit right at the right moment. We were looking for a gourmand. Of course, we're always in there smelling the new stuff, smelling other stuff, getting reacquainted with stuff. And this was described as a caramel apple scent. And we both were like, we gotta smell that. And it is 100% a caramel apple scent. Like if you've smelled Cider Lane, the candle from Bath & Body Works, to me, this is the perfume version of that fragrance, which I absolutely love that. This is a Granny Smith apple and that caramel dip you can get, like the pre-made caramel dip. That's what this smells like to me. It smells so good. In the opening, you get that tart apple along with the sweetness, but I will say that is very fleeting. I don't get that tart fruitiness for a long time. It then kind of dies down into a soft vanilla, super sweet, and to me, again, I really get something caramely from it. I think it is such a fun one, and it was fun to explore and find something a little bit more unique and not necessarily new. This has been out for a really long time, and I'm really excited to wear this like late summer into early fall. Like I just think there's something gonna be so fun because like I said, it really, really smells like caramel apples, and I really think of that Bath & Body Works candle, which I love, Cider Lane. It's so good. I will say Sam does not love this, so you know, I would say with that doesn't mean it's like a blind buy. And I would say this is also a little bit, you know, more unique for me, but there's something about it I really love. Notes on this: red apple, bergamot in the top, cinnamon and cedar in the mid, and then the base has vanilla, coconut, and musk. So technically no caramel, and even this, it says it's a red apple, but I get that tart green apple. Maybe the bergamot's doing that, I don't know, but so delicious and fun. And last for perfumes, I did want to talk about the new Ledda perfume. This is the third fragrance from the house, and this is 14 Ila Coco. And the notes on this one had me really intrigued. I have the other two fragrances that have come out, and I wanted to try it out, support, and see what this fragrance is about, especially with summer. And I have to say, when I first got it, very different than what I thought. Let me read you the notes so I can kind of give you an idea of like what I was thinking. Okay, notes on this: top, juicy lemon, calamansi nature print, not sure what that is, sweet mandarin. In the mid, there's ylang ylang, fig leaves, and jasmine sambac. And then in the dry down, there's upcycled cedar wood, coconut milk, and black tea. So I was super excited for the fig leaves, the coconut milk, the black tea. And I have to say, as much as this says there's lemon in here, I really get like a liminess from this fragrance. There's something about it. It has that citrus in here, but there's almost, again, that like bitterness to the lime, along with some of those like sunscreeny kind of notes. It's also in general pretty perfumey, and I find that from a lot of the house. At this point, now that there's 3 fragrances, I'm starting to get the kind of vibe of the house. And I have to say, although I don't know if any of them are like the perfect fragrance for me, I think they're all really well done. And I also think there's a sophistication to each of them. And this to me is their version of like a sunscreen scent. And I really feel like in the dry down, you start to get a little bit more of that fig. There's definitely some florals coming through. You get that sunscreeny kind of creaminess in a way, still with that like limey touch, almost like a lime beverage, like a alcoholic beverage to me anyway. When I first got it, I was just like, what? This wasn't what I was expecting. I was hoping to smell maybe more of the tea, and I just thought it was a unique pairing of notes. And I do think it's a unique smell, but it just wasn't exactly what I want. But the longer I've had it and, you know, I'm returning to it, I'm like, okay, there is something here. I don't know. It's very beach vacation and beachy, but totally not in the way that Miami Nectar is from Ellis Brooklyn, or even Lime Sands or something like that. I feel like this is the sophisticated, sexier version of Lime Sands from Skylar to me. If you've smelled that, that smells unabashedly like a vacation. It is by far a summer scent. Like, I'm not necessarily wearing that any other time but vacation, whereas this feels like that same kind of scent in a way, but this is done so much more sophisticated and refined, and I feel like has a bit of a sexiness to it, and again, like a perfumey quality. I feel like a lot of the Ledda perfumes kind of remind me of a designer house in a way. Yeah, those are my thoughts on the newest one from Ledda, so let me know if you've smelled that, what you think. I'm interested to keep seeing how the house goes, especially now that I'm starting to get an idea of the fragrances. But before I leave it off, I do have a few candles I just wanted to, you know, talk about, shout out. I made an order from the new Savant. I love picking up the newest releases from them. And so Kimberly, I believe, is the newest launch. This has notes of matcha latte, jasmine petals, green grass, and rainbow cereal. They always do a unique pairing of notes, okay? Like, I don't think anything is necessarily blind buy safe, but I appreciate the uniqueness, if you will. And I actually find the Kimberly scent, that's what this is called, to be very delicious and pretty likable overall. I do get some of those green touches and that matcha note, but I feel like the cereal, the sweetness from that, and kind of, you know, it's like Lucky Charms, I think they were going for. I think that sweetens this up just enough, you know? So I really quite like this. I think it has a nice scent throw as well, so I've been enjoying burning that. And then the other candle I picked up, which I have not burned yet, this is Sapphics in the City, and this has notes of peony petals, muddled raspberries, Thai rose apple, and spicy chili pepper. Like I said, always an interesting pairing of notes. It'll be interesting to see how this burns, how the throw is, kind of what the scent of that is, but I definitely wanted to try this one out. I think this might be like a summer exclusive. I think it maybe came out last year, and so I wanted to get my hands on that. So that's my huge haul, kind of an update on what's new in my collection. I'm just gonna talk about a few of my absolute favorites. I mean, I really think you should get your nose on Creme Brûlée, Narco, Oasis, it's so good. And just kind of overall, these ones I think are really fun additions to my collection. Along with the influencer collabs, though, I think those have been fun. Eclaire is good. I'm glad to have Babycat from YSL. So, you know, it's a lot of good stuff here. Let me know your thoughts though. Have you smelled these? Do you have any favorites in here? Is there anything you've been wanting to try? Let me know. Or if you've picked up anything new, I'd love to know what you're smelling. And of course, if you have any like vanillas, gourmands, anything like that that you think I would love that I should try, let me know down below. I love getting your guys' recommendations, but thanks so much for being here. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.